Well, hello everybody. How are we all doing? Any idea why Mrs. Tuitt asked me to make a short video? Any ideas? Think it's my mask? Well, kinda. Mrs. Tuitt thought it'd be a good idea if we let you know the importance of a thank you note. I'm in need of a thank you note because just the other day, my tremendous Aunt Judy, I call her Aunt, made me this great mask, and it's time for me to let her know how much I want to thank her for thinking of me. So for all of you rookie thank you note writers out there, let me help you with some of the parts and pieces that you need to compose a great thank you note. Now, what do you think the first thing you need is? That's right, you need an envelope. Anytime you want to send somebody a thank you note or a thank you card, you need an envelope. And it doesn't have to be a big one. It doesn't have to be one of the little small ones or a fancy one that you can buy in a store. All you need is an envelope. So let's start there. So I know these are kind of old-fashioned, but that's okay too. It probably comes to you like this, and it's rather blank. So let me help you out here. Once you get your envelope, when you come up here in this corner, see if I can get this in here, up here on this side is where you put your address. That's called a return address, so if this thing gets lost, it'll come back to you. Now, if it's a little smaller and you guys are a little fancy, some people like to put that on the back. That's okay too. Either place is okay. The thing that you need is on the other side, and you can get that at the United States Post Office. And that comes over here, and that's your stamp. So put the proper postage on that. Whoa, I forgot something. What comes right in here in the middle? That's right, the person you're reaching out to. So as I told you, this would be right here. This would be my Aunt Judy. I would put her name on the first line. She happens to live at 10 Centerville Creek Lane. That's way too long for me to write. And she lives in the great town of Boston, Massachusetts. So you put that down there on the bottom, write a little bit better than I do. And what I would also recommend is I would go through and find the 5-digit zip code. Whoa, I forgot something. What comes right in here in the middle? That's right, the person you're reaching out to. So as I told you, this would be right here. This would be my Aunt Judy. I would put her name on the first line. She happens to live at 10 Centerville Creek Lane. That's way too long for me to write. And she lives in the great town of Boston, Massachusetts. So you put that down there on the bottom, write a little bit better than I do. And what I would also recommend is I would go through and find the 5-digit zip code. It'll guarantee that your note gets there a little bit faster. Have the envelope behind us and we're ready to go forward. There's only one more piece that we need. Again, my envelope is all done. I cleaned it up a little bit. There's my return address. It's up here in the top corner. The other side has my favorite stamp, which I'm really out of. I need some more stamps. And in the middle, it is being addressed to my Aunt Judy. As you know, she lives at 10th. I told you that was way too long. In the great town of Boston, Massachusetts, 02110. So that's the easy part, and that's done. Now I have to get a note written. Of course, that requires a piece of paper. Like the envelope, it can be a fancy piece of paper that you buy at a stationery store. Any paper will do, in my opinion. And now you have to get all this down on a piece of paper. Well, of course, when you start your thank you note, I like to start with a greeting. Of course, this is going to Judy. Okay, so she knows who it's addressed to, although she'll probably share it with my Uncle Bill. And then on the other side, I like to put the date, April of 2020. What were we doing? And then, in my first paragraph, I'll refer to the mask. I'll tell her thanks. I'll let her know that I got it. I'll let her know how much it's appreciated. Who knows what else I'll tell her about that mask, but that's generally the nature of that first paragraph. What am I talking about? And then, because it's family or a friend, and again, there's no rules. If you want 2, 5, 8 paragraphs, knock yourself out. But in my next paragraph, I would probably give my Aunt Judy some news, what's going on here in Ohio as opposed to over there. I would probably give her some story about my kids or my wife or what's new, etc., etc., etc. And after I'm out of news and stories, now that that's all done, we have our last paragraph or our closing paragraph, and we'll be able to finish this note nicely. Most of the times it can be just a quick review. I like to repeat the thanks or what it is that I'm talking about. And a lot of times people will put like a future plan, hope to see you, kind of something like that. And then as we go right down near the bottom, we have a thing here called a salutation. That's just a fancy word for goodbye, and choose one you like because there's a bunch. And then don't be afraid to sign it. Not a great signature, but it'll do. You have all those other pieces and you've gone through and reread it and all of a sudden, oh, you forgot something. There's this thing on the bottom that you call a postscript, and a lot of people just put PS and they include that on the bottom, whatever that thing was that escaped you when you were up here and you don't want to mess up those other paragraphs. So just put it right there and you're good to go. And so now that you have all your information on this thing, how about we just fold this baby nice because it's all neat, and we'll just get her folded, ready for the envelope, and we're ready to send. So there you have it. You're done, just like that. Now you have to find a mailbox or your local post office, and someone that is important or special to you will receive a heartfelt thank you card for whatever it is that they did for you. And you're thinking, that'll take forever. No, not really. It'll probably take you 10, 15 minutes to tops. And once you get good at it and once you practice, you'll find that you can knock one of these out in a few minutes. You could probably do a couple in 10 or 15 minutes. Done. But you're like, why don't I just get this? I'll just send them a crap chat and, they'll read it. No, it's different. No, it's different. To be able to pick it up and save it and to be able to find it when you want it is a lot different than having to scroll through the 12,875 things you get every day. And they'll know that you spent a little bit more time on it than sending something like that. Take it from an old guy. So take it from an old guy who means it. That know when your recipients receive from you, whether it be a thank you note, a thank you card, or just a note to say that you're thinking of them now, that things are just a little bit crazy, know that they will be very appreciative that you, in fact, have taken the time to put on paper and send to them how special they are to you. With that said, I really hope this message finds you all in good health. I really hope you all have a mask that's almost as cool as mine. And know that we are looking forward to seeing all of you again when we get on the other side of this. Know this for sure. We will all get through this together. Blessings.